Hello students, welcome to your computer classroom. So I hope all of you are doing well. And as we were discussing about the different uh, features of the MS Access chapter 2, so in that we have already seen few of the data sheet view and design view. So before moving to the next topic, let us have a recap of the previous topics which we have gone through. So if we come to our textbook, here we have already seen the different data types of the design view, text, memo, number. So these were all the different data types which are used in the design view of the MSSS software. Okay, after that we have seen how to uh, enter the values in the design view, how to design a database. So for that we have seen the different properties like field name, data type, and in the description, and one by one we have entered the different values also. Clear? For example, the student name. Okay, so let us come to the software window. Then you can easily relate to the different things which you have already done. So here, as you can see, in this is the design view, and here we have entered the different fields, the different data types we have chosen, and we have written the description as well for various of the fields. Clear? And in the data type, we have chosen more than one. For example, the admission number, it will be the number data type. Student name, it will be some text. Date of birth will be something related to date and time. Clear? So this way we have chosen various types of data. Clear? And according to this data type chosen, we have the field properties as well. Okay, so this we have all gone through earlier as well. And after that, in the previous class we are discussing about the primary key. So let us come to the topic primary key also. So there we have seen how to set any field as a primary key. So we have already seen that what exactly is primary key. Primary key is the key which differentiates the records in the field. Clear? For example, as we have seen, the roll number can be the admission number in the case of our database which we have made. So we have made the admission number as the primary key, and for making any field as the primary key, we have seen that as well. Let us come to the software window. So here, as you can see, whenever we want to make any field as a primary key, we will select that field and come to the design tool. We are having the different tabs at the top, so we will come to the design tab, and in the design tab we can find the uh, button or the symbol for the primary key. So I hope it is visible to you at the top corner. So when you choose any field and click on the primary key button, so you will get the primary key associated with the field. Clear? So admission number, as we have taken here, so you can see a symbol of a key is shown here, and when you click it again on the primary key, it is actually the on off type where it will be removed as well. So here when I click the primary key again, here the key symbol in the front of admission number is removed. Clear? So this way, that is why this is called as toggle key also, so you can on and off. Clear? So this we have gone through. We have made the field as primary key as well. Now it is the time to see about the different field properties, how to modify the different field properties, how to edit it, how to change the values, how to make it some value as a default. So this is we are going to discuss in the today's class. So earlier we have seen the different field properties. They are uh, located at the bottom of the window, that is the field uh, property pane. So here you can see we are having the general tab and lookup tab, and all of the information is present in the property information area. Okay, this we have already gone through that about the description of the different things, lookup tab and general tab. Now it is the time to change the different field size. The field size, according to the different field, the field size will be different. For example, for the text, the maximum value is 255. For the numbers, there may be different size like integer, long integer. Clear? And auto number is, suppose you don't want to enter the number again and again, so automatically the number will be generated. Clear? So for that also we are having the different size, like long integer, replication ID. This we are going to see how to edit, how to change these things. Okay, so let us, so this way here also you can see the text number and auto number, these three are represented here. Now come to the first one, that is the next topic, that is the setting field size property. Now we will see how to set these field size. Okay, so the default field size for a field with a data type of text is 255 character. Already we know that for any of the text data type, the maximum size limit will be 255 characters. So you can change this size in the range of 0 to 255. Clear? So it can be, the value can be anything between 0 to 255. So let us see now for the data text, for the text data type. Click on the field whose size you want to change. Click on the general tab in the field property area. Enter the new field size shown in the field size text box. So let us see these steps and try to change the field size of the data text data type. So come to the software window. So here we can see, suppose I am taking, let us see where we have the data type as text. So text data type is present in the student name. Clear? So student name is having the data type as text. Let us select this field. Now the text data type, here you can see the field size is 255. Clear? Is it visible? 255 is the field size of this. If you want to edit it, click it and now remove. Suppose I want to make it 150. Can we do it? Write 150 and press the enter key. Yes, it is very easy. Whatever the field size you want to choose, it can be in between 0 to 255. Let us see, can we make it 300? I am writing 300. Press the enter key. Okay, so here is the error message that the setting for the field size property must be 0 to 255. Clear? So whatever the field value you are choosing for the text data type, it will be in the range of 0 to 255. We have cross checked also, 300 can't be taken. So let us keep it in the range and less than 255. So we can write 200. Okay, something like that. Okay, here it is a comma symbol, because of that it is showing error. So 200 I have written. 200 is okay because it is in between the range of 0 to 255. Okay, now let us see the next step. So here we have seen the three steps by using which the field size of the text data type can be edited. Let us read. Do you know? You can resize text and numeric field only. All the other data type is predefined. Clear? So here you can see that if only the text data type or the number data type we are having, only those can be resized, and the other data type, they are already predefined, they can't be edited or they can't be changed. Okay, they can be changed, but the resizing, it means if you want to decrease the size, if you want to decrease the limit, that cannot be done. The other editing we will see further, that how we can modify the other data type. Okay, now moving to the next, that is for the number data type. Okay, so what we will do for the number data type, let us see. Click on the field whose size you want to change. Click on the general tab in the field property area and click on the field size row. A drop down menu will appear on the row. Here also you can see. So whatever the field with the number data type whose value you want to change, select that and you will get a drop down list there. Okay, let us see this also. So number data type we have chosen, for example class we have chosen. So as I am clicking on this number data type, you can see the field size is here is long integer. So this one you want to change. So when you click it here at this right corner, you can see there is a drop down button, this type of symbol having the arrow, downward arrow symbol. This is the drop down. Clear? So when you click on this drop down, the menu will appear. So let us click it. So here you can see there are different uh, things, different values to choose. So right now the value is long integer. If you want to change it to byte, there are different single, double, replication, ID, decimal. So these values you can choose for the number data type. Clear? So let us change to something else like double. Clear? So this way we have edited the field size of the text data type. We have changed the value, the limit of 255 to something else, and also in the case of number data type we have changed the field size. Okay, let us read further. So these we have done for the number data type. Moving to the next, that is how to set a default value. So earlier also some of you are asking that what is default value. So it is the time, let us see what is default value. So you can speed up data entry for the fields that actually contains the same value by making that value the default. For example, if 90% of the student take Kathak as dance, you can make Kathak the default value in the dance field. Clear? What does it mean? Default value means, suppose you are entering some data in the database, and if there are thousands of students, the data is of thousands of students, then suppose there is an entry of the dance, and in the dance form there may be different like Kathak, then it may be other uh, dance form like Kuchipudi, Kathak, Bharatnatyam. Clear? And suppose the dance form which is having the maximum, that is Kathak. So every time if you need to write the Kathak, it will take time. So to get rid of this Kathak dance data type, we can enter the Kathak every you can make it as default, and every time the Kathak will be there, and you will not require to re-enter the dance form again and again. So for that you can make this as a default value. Clear? So in our case, if you are using the database for the student, there we have not chosen any dance form, there we have chosen some other fields. So we will take a default value there also. Let us now see what are the different steps to choose a default value. Okay, so first step is click on the field whose default value you want to set. Then click on the general tab in the field property area. Already you are familiar about these terms. Whatever the general tab, what is lookup tab, we have already explained these. Now when you click on the general tab, then there is whatever the value, if you want to choose in the default value, there is a column. So click on the default value row and type the default value, whatever the value you want to choose, the default value will be shown to you. Okay, let us do this and cross check it. Okay, now coming to the software window. Here, suppose here in this case we are having the class as a field, and here it is the number data type. Okay, so in the class, suppose we are making this database for class 8th, this can be also used for the different classes. So if most of the students are of class 8, so let us make the default value. So here when I chosen the field class, so here at the bottom you can see a default value column is there. Okay, so if you want to make any value as a default, so this is the class, so we can write 8th. So let us write this 8. Okay, so I have entered the value 8 as the default value of the class data type. So this is the design view. You are already familiar that there are two types of views. One is design view and another is data sheet view. So here at the bottom corner there are the different buttons. If you want to see how exactly this database will look, and also we can cross check that the class value is default 8 every time. So let us click on the datasheet view. Okay, so datasheet view, here you can see that in this datasheet view, whatever the entries now we will make, every time the class will be 8. Here you can see, let me use the marker, clear. So here as you can see, the class default value is 8. Every time whatever the number of rows, that is the records, you will rows are also called as records in the database. Okay, so this 8 which we are using, this 8, this we have not entered right now, this only we have made the default value. If you enter some other rows, some other records, if you are going to enter more number of student detail, so automatically the class 8 will come again and again, so you don't need to retype it. And in case if there is any student which is not of class 8, if it is class 6, 7, 9, so for that only you need to change those values, so it will save the time. I hope this is clear. Now coming to the design view again, so this datasheet view is exactly the view how it will appear, and the design view which we are working on, this is the designing of the database, clear. So this way you can check it also, that whatever the conditions, whatever the settings which you are applying, how they are going to affect the view of the database which is being represented to the user. Okay, let us come back to the textbook. So here we have also made a field or a value as a default value, clear. So here are the steps we have followed, and also the same is here, the whatever the dance form that was Kathak, that is being represented in the datasheet view. And in our database, what we have entered in our database, we have entered the 8 as the value, default value of the class. Okay, now let us see the next. The next is set the fields format. So what is this? This is about something formatting of any field, that in which form the data will be represented. Okay, let us see this as well. So you can change a field format. You can change a field format to update its appearance in databases, in the datasheet, forms and reports. So whatever the field you are entering the value, how the data is being, in which format the data is being written, that can be chosen by using the field format thing. Okay, so let us see the different steps also. First step, click on the field whose format you want to change. Then the next step is go to the general tab. Here we can see, click on the format row, clear. So whatever the value in which you want to choose the format, there is a format row as well. So click on the format row. A drop down menu or arrow appears. Click on the drop down menu arrows to choose the format that you want. So these formatting can be done for various things. For example, if it is a number or auto number, it can be represented using the different currency. The percentage symbols can be used with that, clear. If it is date time, what can be the different format, the date, month, year, these are the different things. So according to the data, according to the data type which we are choosing, their formatting will be different. So this is written here, that for the number or auto number, the different formatting, like currency, percentage. For the date and time, the different date time format. For yes no fields, the different ways of expressing the yes or no, clear. So these are the different field format. Let us see this as well in the software window. Let us erase this first and move to the software window. Okay, so here it is. Now we are going to see what we are going to see the what we are discussing right now. Okay, we are discussing the field format. So let us see any data type. For example, date of birth we have, the data type is date and time. So let us come to the field format. Where is the format? The first one is format. So for the date of birth, in which the data type is date and time, what can be the different formats? The different formats can be, here you can see Let me zoom in as well. It will be more clear and visible to you. Okay, so I hope it is visible more better now. Let us move this to corner. Okay, so we were on the date of birth, and date time is the value of that. So we are choosing the format of this. So here the format is whenever the different uh, for the date and time, these are the different formats for the exactly. If it is using the dash symbols, whatever, like 2007, whatever the value is written, then if you want to write this month with the name of the month, that is 19th June, then the different other forms, if you write in abbreviation, then for the time we are having the hour, minute and second, and then short time, that is only hour and minute. Clear? So these are the different format for the data type of what? The data type is here date and time. Let us see any other. For example, if there is a number, so in the number also we are seeing that there are various things. For example, here we can see the format is here for the number data type, the different uh, okay, so here for the number data type, the different formatting can be, for example, if it is a value, if is there in currency, so this can be the currency symbol can be there. Then whatever the different currency, euro, if you want to insert the decimal number, this value is written with the decimal. If you want to, if there is lakh, thousand or million, billion form, so this also can be represented using the comma. If there is percentage, if you are writing any number like the percentage of student obtain, so this can be ended with the percentage. If there is the exponent form, so for that we are having the scientific representation. Clear? So this way we have seen the different uh, formatting of the different data types. Clear? So I hope this is clear. According to the date and time data type, we have seen that the month and year can be chosen. Then the number data type, in which we are having the currency, percentage and different others formatting for the numbers. Okay, so this is the different field formatting things. Okay, let us read this. So certain fields such as text, certain fields such as text, memo and hyperlink have no preset formats. So the different other data types like text, memo and hyperlink, they don't have any preset format. Whatever the things we have seen about the formatting, this was for the number, auto number, date and time, yes and no field. But for the other data type like text, memo and hyperlink, it is obvious that for the text, whatever the thing you're writing, it will be in the text form. For the hyperlink, it will be any link which will relate or link to another file or any web page. So for these types of the data type, we don't have any default, or there is no any predefined formatting. Clear? So let us erase this and move to the next. That is, the next is creating validation rules. This is also very important. So what exactly is validation, how we are going to do this? Let us see this as well. These are very important parts of the databases. Do practice if you have the system at home. Even then, if you don't have, you can read it very and watch the videos, pause it wherever you have confusion, and the remaining doubts, whatever you are having, it can be discussed in the online session as well. So let us see this creating validation rule. So a validation rule is used to force a field entry to meet a logical test of validity. Okay, so wherever you are validating the value, okay, if some user is entering the value, and if you want to check whether if you want to set some conditions, so it can check and validate the things. So by validation rule, you can ensure that the correct value is entered in the field. If the user makes an incorrect entry, error alerts can stop the user, provide a warning, or just provide information. Okay, so if in case of any of these fields, if the user is entering the value, and if there is some if you have already set some validation rules, and if according to those validation rules the value which is entered by the user, if that is not according to that validation rule, so in that case we will get some error message. Okay, so this is the use actually of the validation rule. Now we will see also that what are the different steps and how we can enter the values, so that we can modify these things and we can make the validation rule as well. So first step is click on the field where you want to create validation rule. Clear? So whatever the field you want to choose, that can be done. After that, click on the general tab in the field property. The third one is click on the validation rule. Whatever the validation rule there is, click on that value and type the validation rule in that row. Click in the validation text row and type the text for error message. Clear? So we have two things to do. We can write the validation rule, that what is the condition you want to check and what is the message which you can get if that is the validation rule is not met. Clear? So this we can write in the validation text for the error message thing. Okay, next is this can also be verified by you going to the datasheet view. Okay, now let us come to our database and check what are the different steps which we have seen just now, and validate and try to make a validation rule. Okay, now here suppose in case of uh, in the in our case we don't have any field right now. Where can we make this? Okay, let us make a new field. Suppose we are having a field with fees. Okay, so fees is something in which will be in the number data type. Okay, so here write the description if you want, or you can leave it blank also. So this can be, suppose we want the fees to be greater than 500 or something like that. Clear? So here you can see this, when I have chosen the field name fees, so at the in the field property we are having the validation rule. So here we can make the validation rule. So here you can write greater than 500. Clear? So this can be a validation rule, or 500 or 1000, those this can be a validation rule. In the validation text, suppose someone is entering 200. So what we can enter as in the validation text? In the validation text we can write value entered is less than 500. Clear? Value entered is less than, spelling of spelling, let us make it correct, less than 500. Okay, so this is the validation rule, that whatever the value which is being entered in the fees, this should be greater than 500, and in the validation text we have make a text that this will appear in when there is any error. So let us try to check it in the datasheet view as well. So come to, whenever you click the datasheet view, it will ask you to save the table first. So yes, we have saved it. So in the fees column, here you can see, we have written condition is above than 500. So let us see, if I am writing 600, whenever I am entering it is okay. So here in the primary key there is some index or primary key cannot contain a null value. So here yes, we have made a admission number, so write any default value. Suppose this is admission number of a student, so this is essential to be written. So 600 is fine. Okay, So if you try to enter the value in the second which can be less than 500, we have made the condition less than, it should be greater than 500. So let us try to enter some value which is less than 500. So suppose I am writing 400. Press the enter key. So what is the value? Value entered is less than 500. What is this? This is the error message which we have typed in the validation text. So here you can see whatever the message you are writing, the same is being displayed to you as well. Clear? So this we have cross checked. So that is the error message which will we are entered. So click OK. So this will not allow us to enter any value which is less than the condition which we have entered. So and only when the value which is entered, if it is more than 500, suppose I am writing 550, press the enter key. So here the error message is for the admission number. So if we have made any key as a primary key, so it is essential to have some value for the primary key, only then it will be saved. So here also you can see the class, every time it is by default it is 8. Why? Because we have chosen a default value as 8. And roll number, how it is coming automatically? Because we have roll number is auto number. Clear? We can see in the design view as also that these values like admission number, here you can see there is the primary key symbol, then the default value for the case of class number, class. So in the here you can see the default value is 8. So because of this the 8 is being represented every time. And there was one more value which was the roll number. So roll number you can see it is auto number. So now I hope it is clear what is validation rule and how we are setting the validation rule. Clear? So read it from the book also, and if you have PC at home you can practice it as well. And in case if you don't have, here that is why I am explaining each and everything with the help of the software also. So those who are not having the PC, and right now we don't have the facility of the lab as well, so it is not a thing of worry. We are covering all the things so that it will be clear for you. Okay, so this way we have seen the validation rule and how to set up these validation rule. In the coming class we are going to see the further things about these rules and other about the design view, and after that we were going to enter the how to enter the records in the table. Okay, so this chapter is very interesting as well and important as well, as it is a new concept about the databases for you. So do watch the videos and revise the things, and the queries we will cover in the coming online session. Till then, enjoy and keep learning. Thank you.